Well, one of the latest stories that have come out of Iran is the story of a young woman named Mahsa Amini, a story which in a single week generated 93 million entries on Google. Well, just to get a better understanding of how major this is, the 8,000-year-old capital of Mahsa's homeland, Tehran, generates only about 35% more than that. Before we delve deeper into Ms. Amini's story, though, we need to quickly go over another story, without which the importance of Mahsa's story cannot be understood, and that is the story of where she was born and raised, the Islamic Republic of Iran. Hello and welcome to Hidden Files. I'm Mahsa Amini. Thanks so much for being with us.
Iranians were successful with their revolution in overthrowing their Western-supported monarch in 1979. Soon following that victory, the majority of Iranians, that's 98.2%, voted for the creation of an Islamic Republic. Following the revolution and the referendum in Iran, the country's political line has become neither East nor West, but an Islamic Republic, to signify that the country wants to be independent and not controlled by foreign powers. This political line was never accepted by various powers which wanted to control Iran, a country rich in oil, gas, and many other resources.
At the time of Iran's revolution in 1979, I was a university journalism student in the United States, and I noticed from the early days following the victory how mainstream media would emphasize that the revolution wouldn't last. They would bring in various political analysts to reiterate their point. And that same media killed off the founder of the Islamic Revolution 1,000 times with rumors of his death long before he actually died in 1989. Both print and broadcast media have engaged in a campaign to show Iran as a backwards, harsh state ever since, with negative propaganda regarding the country being the norm. Now, that's all because with the victory of the Islamic Revolution and its leader Imam Khomeini saying that Iran would be an independent country, Tehran was on a collision course with all of those who wanted to control it. According to Western analysts at Brookings Institute, I quote, "For Washington, the revolution represented a devastating strategic loss. Since the British withdrawal from the Persian Gulf in 1971, Iran had become the cornerstone of America's security architecture for protecting Western interests across the region," end quote. Well, from the United States, which basically owned the Shah's Iran, to the Soviet Union, which wanted Iran to come into its sphere, to many of the European states, none of them wanted to see an independent country. The loss of Iran as a major asset in the region was never overcome by the United States nor its allies. And their attempts to regain Iran, to control its political direction and wealth, basically to overthrow the Islamic Republic, have never stopped since 1979, and it has taken many forms. But what Iran's name became known for during the past few weeks was not the Islamic Revolution, but the death of a young woman. On September the 14th, a young Iranian woman passed out while in police custody, and she was participating in a mandatory class held for nonviolent offenses dealing with the country's Islamic dress code when, as camera footage shows, she got up to discuss the situation with one of those in charge. In a matter of minutes, CCTV footage shows her falling on the floor. Mahsa Amini was then rushed to a hospital where she went into a coma and died days later.